Hello dear fans, friends and subscribers. Welcome to a thrilling cricket happening show with your host Ram today. And the reason that I say it is thrilling is because India defended 8 runs of the final over and to go and level the series with the final T20 coming up in Bangalore, anyone's game I would say. And what a spell of bowling. I would say when the odds were very heavily stacked against India, it was a slow pitch. Yes, it was definitely giving lots of turn for the spinners. But also, since India were the ones who were bowling at the last, when England were batting, we saw that the dew was taking effect in a very big way, with lots of dew on the ball and the ball being changed. And there was a lot of things which were stacked against India at that stage. And one probably would not even have expected what happened. But I have to say that probably Kohli, after seeing Kohli was sitting with his boys in the bench, and he was exactly telling them, Nehra and Bumrah, to definitely watch how the England bowlers, especially Chris Jordan, who bowled magnificently at the death, as he's normally a very good death bowler, and Jordan was actually mixing it up with bowling different types of slower balls, tremendous yorkers, and also very good variations in pace. And this was something probably Kohli was instilling in both the veteran pro Ashish Nehra and also the youngster, the 23-year-old Jasprit Bumrah, who was the hero today, as both really got working. And also Nehra also hit the deck very hard too. And I would say the Indian bowlers, taking a leaf out of the England's bowlers today, really did a wonderful job. And Jasprit Bumrah in particular was the hero, as not only did he bowl 2 overs for 5 runs, he bowled the 18th over for just 2 runs and picked up a wicket. And in the final over, when 6 runs were there to defend of the final delivery, he bowled a dot ball. And let me tell you, to defend 8 runs of the final over is not an easy job at all. And especially in 20 over cricket, you would feel the game is already gone. And they had some nice batsmen at the crease, Moeen Ali at one end. And one would have probably thought that England will run away with this. But what a spell of bowling from Jasprit Bumrah. Mixing it up. He was another Chris Jordan today. In fact, I would say he went one big than Jordan today. Because what he did is he bowled some hit the deck stuff. He mixed it up with some very good variations in pace in those slower deliveries. And what a wonderful spell of bowling from Bumrah. He definitely deserved. In fact, one would have probably felt sorry for Rahul, who played a great hand. He was the only person to actually get a 50, and India would be very happy to see that Rahul has finally walked into form. And what a way! And he walked at the right time, I would say. It's a very difficult pitch, a slowish pitch to begin with, and the stroke making was never so easy. And Rahul definitely did a wonderful job, in fact getting the highest score among both the teams of 71. But definitely I think he definitely won't feel that he's been hard done by not getting the man of the match, because I thought Jasprit Bumrah to me definitely was the right choice, because he was the man who made the difference. And in the final over, with 8 runs to defend, if you give away just 2 runs and also pick up wickets, that is something scintillating stuff. And the whole crowd, the holiday crowd which had assembled at the Vidarbha Cricket Association Stadium in Nagpur, could not have had greater joy today, as India leveled the series to take it into the final T20, which would be happening at the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bangalore on 1st of February. Well, so that is as far as this particular summary was concerned. Now I'll be talking about this particular match in greater detail, and also we will look at the Chappell Hadlee Trophy ODI series, starting probably as I would reckon in New Zealand. The first match is going to be played today between Australia and New Zealand, and it should be starting in probably, I think, 5 hours time, if I'm not wrong. But nevertheless, one has to wait and watch. But and I'll be doing a brief preview of the Chappell Hadlee Trophy ODI series that is coming up between New Zealand and Australia. And as you know, New Zealand are the ones who are holding, sorry, Australia are the ones who are holding the Chappell Hadlee Trophy ODIs. This is a return leg that Australia is going to be playing against New Zealand. So just let's get on to this particular match and enjoy every bit of it. As the toss was a very good toss to win, and England had no hesitation in putting India into bat. And once again, they decided to make a change. They decided to remove Plunkett. They brought in Dawson. India made one change. They brought in Amit Mishra in case of Parvez Rasool. And it was a good toss to win for England, and England actually inserted. Now, one probably the other day, if you had looked at my Twitter, when I tweeted, I definitely said that we'd like to see Rishabh Pant, the young fiery young batsman being unveiled. Probably was KL Rahul, but I would say KL Rahul definitely probably heard me or probably saw my Twitter remarks, and KL Rahul came really big and he proved me absolutely wrong, and I'm happy. I really like that. That's what I want. I mean, I was proved wrong, but I'm still happy about it. Well, so India, KL Rahul playing a beautiful hand, I would say. So India starting off, and Liam Dawson started proceedings for them, and Liam Dawson definitely went for some runs, as we saw Kohli and Rahul wade into him and get him for runs, and that forced Morgan to remove him from the firing line immediately and press his bowlers Timo Mills and Chris Jordan into action, who did a wonderful job in the first T20. And they started off, and Kohli was definitely kept quiet, I thought, initially by Timo Mills and Jordan. Even KL Rahul was also finding stroke making a bit tough, especially considering that he was out of form as well. But then Virat Kohli decided to open up, and what a shot! I mean, that was an incredible shot from Virat Kohli. I mean, to go and hit a six on your back foot, one can understand. You can always go out in the front and put your foot down and smack the bowler. But to go and hit a six on the back foot, which only one man can do, and that is Virat Kohli, and that was simply scintillating stuff, I would say, as Virat Kohli went on to the back foot and hammered Timo Mills into the pavilion. What a six that was. And after that, he followed it up with two boundaries as well to really spoil the figures of Timo Mills. But after that, the first wicket fell when Chris Jordan had his man. As Virat Kohli probably trying to have a go at a slower one from Jordan, but Jordan definitely mixes it up. I mean, he bowls different types of slower balls with lots of variations, and that was the one which foxed Kohli, as Kohli went big and Dawson picked up the catch. The ball went on the edge, and Kohli was gone for 15 deliveries, 2 4s and 1 6. Suresh Raina came in to join KL Rahul, and now KL Rahul decided, once Virat Kohli was gone, KL Rahul decided that now is the time for him to start playing his strokes, and the strokes started coming in a very big way. As KL Rahul started stroking the ball very fluently, and he was also using the reverse sweep against the spinners. And especially when Suresh Raina was there, the spinners were in operation. Moeen Ali once again continued to impress, and Adil Rashid also bowled, but I thought Moeen Ali was the best bowler. He was making things difficult, and Suresh Raina was the first to go, as he holed up to Jordan, hitting a big shot at the bowling of Rashid, a googly actually, and Suresh Raina playing it in the hands of to Jordan at the deep for 7. So after that, Yuvraj Singh came. Yuvraj Singh did not contribute much, just contributed 4 runs before Moeen Ali trapped him LBW on the sweep shot. So he was gone for 4, and then the Indian score at that time read 69 for 3. And as Manish Pandey joined him, Manish Pandey was really playing around KL Rahul, as he was trying to give all the strike to KL Rahul by taking the singles and not attempting anything rash, which was the right thing to do. But one was really wondering as to whether that was the right decision in actually putting Manish Pandey over there, because Mahendra Singh Dhoni would have been the ideal choice to probably come before Manish Pandey, but it was Manish Pandey who came in. But nevertheless, the partnership definitely got a lot of things to do, especially with KL Rahul really taking up the challenge there, as he started playing some nice strokes, and he was definitely showing that he was getting into form. And as I said, KL Rahul is such a person who can play all shots across the park, and his form was a factor today, but definitely he was really showing us that. with some nice lofts down the ground for sixes of Moeen Ali, and he was also placing the ball perfectly, and he was running hard as well as the score went on. And India in the 18th over lost to KL Rahul's wicket, but not before Rahul had made the highest score of this match, out for 71 of just 47 deliveries, with 6 fours and 2 nice sixes being hit, as Jordan was the one who picked up. And let me tell you, the death overs were a sort of a very important for India, and India, I would say, struggled absolutely. I mean, they struggled in a big manner, as they were not able to force the ball off the square. They were not able, the boundary started drying up. It took probably 19 overs, 19 balls to get a boundary at one stage, and in the death overs, Tamal Mills and Jordan in particular was outstanding, as Tamal Mills also prevented them from scoring, as he picked up the it was Jordan who actually picked up the wicket of Manish Pandey, who was also struggled at the crease, but finally he lost his stumps to the bowling after first but Manish Pandey hit a terrific six of the bowling of Tamal Mills by picking up his slower one perfectly, but then he lost his furniture to the bowling of Mills for 30 of 26 deliveries, 1-6. Now after that, Dhoni struggled. Pandya was run out for 2, Mishra was run out for naught, and there was chaos there. And Dhoni also, even in the final over, Jordan was absolutely on the money. A player of the caliber of Mahendra Singh Dhoni definitely struggled, as Dhoni finally in the final delivery was clean bowled by Jordan for 5, and thus India ended up with 144 for 8. And I thought the death overs was simply superb from the English bowlers. Dawson, 2 overs, 1 for 20. Tamal Mills, 4 overs, 1 for 36. Came back very well after the mauling he received at the hand of Kohli. Jordan, 4 overs. What a spell of bowling from Jordan. Jordan, to me, is the best death bowler that England has. 4 overs, no maiden, 3 for 22. Brilliant. Ben Stokes, 3 overs, cost him 21. Moeen Ali, 4 overs, 1 for 20. And Adil Rashid, 3 overs, no maiden, 1 for 24. So 144, definitely one would say this on this pitch, I would say it was still a good slow pitch, so probably India had a lot of spinners in the ranks as well, and one would have expected that. And let's see what really happened. So England started off with Jason Roy and Sam Billings, and Yuzvendra Chahal was told to actually bowl, and Yuzvendra Chahal, the right arm leg spinner, went for plenty, as Jason Roy and Sam Billings clubbing Chahal into the spectators for sixes. And then it was Ashish Nehra who got the breakthrough. Now Ashish Nehra, what he did best was he hit the deck hard, and in the process he first picked up the wicket of Sam Billings. Sam Billings got a ball which he tried to swing at it, and the swing actually went into the hands of Bumrah. But what a ball he produced to, and Sam Billings was out for 12 of 9 deliveries, 1-6. And Jason Roy, what a delivery which really lifted off the good laying spot, and Jason Roy, all that he could do is fend at it, and Raina, he was probably shaping for a hook shot there, and in the process the ball actually got the better of him, and it spooned up, and Raina took the catch, and he was gone for 10 of 11 balls with 1-6. 22 for 2. England were definitely put under the pump right away, with both the openers back into the hut. Joe Root was there at the crease, the captain Morgan joining him, and definitely one saw that Nehra started bowling very well, but Nehra was removed by Kohli, and Bumrah was brought in. Bumrah also could not get his line right initially, I would say, but then slowly started getting in, and then the spinners went into operation at that time. And Morgan, and that was a stage of time where I would say India got something back, because they managed to keep things a bit tight at that stage. And then finally it was Morgan who fell when he was caught by Pandya trying to hit Mishra. Was gone for 17 of 23 balls with 1-4, which made it 65 for 3. And then Stokes walked in, and Stokes, as you know, he's such a wonderful player, and he started playing his strokes in his own inimitable fashion. And Joe Root was the one who was the solidifying feature, as he normally is, as he was getting those singles, playing those sweep shots of the spinners. But Ben Stokes was doing a fine job. But again, the bowling, I think what Nehra did best was that Today he did not even use Hardik Pandya, and he decided to plump for Suresh Raina. I thought that was the right decision, especially considering the fact that the pitch was aiding spin and Suresh Raina could be used. And Suresh Raina was used for his full quota, who bowled 4 overs for 30 runs. And after that, this partnership from 65 for 3, England were given once more hope as Stokes and Root combined to take the score till the 17th over, and what they added was almost 52 runs, which was added by them. And at that stage, England looked pretty much in control, I would say. But then, and again, now this was the time when the death over started, and Nehra was brought in for his second spell, and what an over he bowled. He really kept things so tight that the English batsmen were not able to get the ball off the square, and that resulted in frustration as Ben Stokes, trying to hit the final delivery, the fifth delivery from Nehra, fell LBW after making 38 of 27 deliveries, 2 fours and 2 sixes. Joss Buttler, though, England would have definitely known that they still had a chance, because Joss Buttler was there, and Joss Buttler, he also, I would say, very good bowling. And then Jasprit Bumrah bowling superbly his 18th over, keeping the runs to an absolute minimum, just 3 runs. And what an over Jasprit Bumrah bowled. He tested Buttler, and Buttler didn't know what to do, because it was probably Buttler was expecting the Yorker, but considering the fact that the Yorkers could probably turn into full tosses, Bumrah used real common sense, and he started bowling back of length deliveries and also good slower deliveries, and Buttler was absolutely foxed. And then finally, it was in the Ashish Nehra over, after Ashish Nehra had bowled the penultimate over, where he had actually kept things pretty tight in the penultimate over, and that was the time where England still needed a lot of runs, one could say. And finally, 4 balls, which was done very well by Ashish Nehra, but Joss Buttler in fact spanked a 6 and a 4 of the final 2 balls to finally bring the equation to just 6 runs of the final over, 8 runs of the final over. And Jasprit Bumrah was the bowler, and what a deliveries Bumrah produced. Bumrah really started off in a real flash in the final over when he picked up Joe Root's wicket by getting him LBW, as Joe Root tried to tried to flick the ball, and he was out LBW. So that was the first wicket. So he was gone for 38 with 2 boundaries, but Joss Buttler was still there at the crease. But again, Moeen Ali came in to join him, and then in fact Bumrah was so tight that he was not giving anything in the scoring region. All that Buttler could do was probably get singles. And Buttler, and finally in the 4th delivery, it was this was the biggest wicket, I would say, because Bumrah had kept things so tight that 6 runs were still required, more than 6 runs, I think 6 runs, and that was the time he actually cleaned up Buttler by clean bowling him, as Buttler was beaten for the pace there, and he lost his stumps, and that was the wicket which turned everything, with Buttler gone for 15 of 10 deliveries, 1 4 and 1 6. And finally, what a final ball. 6 runs were required of the final ball. Chris Jordan came in, but it was Moeen Ali who was on strike because of the changeover, and Moeen Ali could not put bat to ball as Bumrah bowled the final delivery just outside the off stump, just beneath the, just on the side of the tram lines, and India got a victory. And India leveled the series, 6 runs to victory on the final ball, and Jasprit Bumrah was the hero, and he was rightly named man of the match. And India definitely have uncovered a wonderful death bowler in Bumrah. Chappell, 4 overs, none for 33, but the damage was done by Ashish Nehra at the top. 4 overs, no maiden, 3 for 28, splendid bowling. Bumrah was absolutely a piece of, he was simply outstanding. 4 overs, no maiden, 2 for 20 for Jasprit Bumrah. Amit Mishra, 4 overs, 1 for 25, and Suresh Raina, 4 overs, no maiden, none for 30. So India winning the match, leveling the series, and now it shifts on to the final T20, which is coming up at the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bangalore, which should be a real beauty. And also, just before I go here, a very quick look at the Chappell Hadlee Trophy ODI series, which is going to be starting today between New Zealand and Australia, the Trans-Tasman neighbours. Australia are the ones who are holding the Chappell Hadlee Trophy ODI series when Australia beat New Zealand when New Zealand came to Australia. Now it's for the turn for New Zealand to exact some sweet revenge probably. And New Zealand have done a change here. They have decided that they're going to have Tom Latham as the wicket keeper for New Zealand today. It's interesting, and the reason being they're going to have their batting might a bit strengthened here with getting probably one more middle order batsman. So that really strengthens them. So the batting is looking pretty good, I would say, and also the bowling is also looking a bit sharp. As far as Australia are concerned, Australia are already crippled, as you know. David Warner is resting, has been rested for the series, and Stephen Smith, the Australian captain, is out, and Matthew Wade is the new captain, and he'll be under a bit of pressure as well. But it would be very interesting to see. Aaron Finch is back, so that will be interesting to see. Hanscom gets his first opportunity to play in a Trans-Tasman place, New Zealand. Travis Head is in some great form, I'd say, and it should be a really a wonderful match coming up. The pitch and conditions at Eden Park in Auckland is going to be, the forecast is pretty good. They're calling out for a very fine day at Eden Park in Auckland, and I think we should have some interesting and exciting cricket coming up at Eden Park in Auckland between Australia and New Zealand. Well, dear fans, friends, subscribers, I hope you all loved this cricket broadcast of mine, with more to come on my next Cricket Happening show, which will be tomorrow. This is your host, Ram, signing off this on a Sunday. Thank you.